Good morning and welcome to my broadcast number 64, though I think it's number 65. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check up on that. My name is Julz and I live here in Auckland, New Zealand. And I'd like to welcome you all along to my daily broadcast here 9 a.m. here in Auckland. Now, the sun is shining nice and brightly, which has been a rare thing. So you soak up the sun as much as you can. And so for my live broadcast today, I wanted to go over a word that I've learned this week. Now, I introduced the first part of my word yesterday, and today I'd like to introduce the second part of my word today, which is meritocracy. What does meritocracy mean? Well, meritocracy is a system in which such an elite achieves special status as in positions of leadership. Now, you could be born into money, you could be raised in a home full of wealth, but you still have the ability to achieve something. And no matter your background, your birthright, if you're recognized for something and you get rewarded for it, you're deemed a part of a society where you have achieved something and you merit the awards that are the accolades that are given to you. This is where meritocracy comes in. Doesn't matter how rich or poor you are, you can achieve this status by achieving big things. Ruled by persons chosen not because of their birthright or wealth, but for their superior talents or intellect. I think this is an awesome word because it rules some of us. It perceives how some of us see life. Are you born into wealth or do you gain it over a period of your lifetime? Many elite are born into it, but then they carry it through, they learn from their peers, and they achieve in their lifetime. And so they're awarded the title of being a chief, being a leader. All things work hand in hand. And I love that word, meritocracy. And so, many people achieve these things over their lifetime. And we all have the ability to do that. So that was just one of the words I wanted to go over. Now, we are now the 14th of June here in New Zealand. So one more day to redeem cookies. And might I add, there is no extension. That is the deadline. The 1st of June was our deadline. And then due to technical, the first round of extension was due to those trusted sellers who were unable to verify transactions. So admin extended the date to June the 7th. We were heading into June the 7th and technical difficulties came up in which they extended the date further to the 15th of June. So we've all had the opportunity to redeem our cookies because that's what that period was for, to redeem your cookies. Now, to the run-up to the 15th of June, we had the opportunity to get in contact with people who may have fallen through the cracks in the TBC system, who had once upon a time signed up, paid for their back office, and then no longer took part in TBC. So over the days since we were we were given these rewards of contacting these leads. It's been a process in trying to get them to see where they're at and to know that they've paid their $10 or not, and the ability to migrate over. Now, a lot of us haven't heard back from our leads, which makes it a little bit difficult. But in order to get them to migrate, we still have until the 31st of July, which will see a lot of people push for those people to re-engage with their back office, to hopefully come back to see that that TBC is going forward. And why they left, through one reason or another, the majority of them left because they didn't want to pay a $10 fee. Some of them left because they were orphaned. Their sponsor was no longer in the program. And even some of those that had transactions had done a transaction, but it was never verified. So as a trusted seller, plus being a broadcaster, through TBC admin, which you can't thank enough, have given us an opportunity to re-engage, to allow them to come back to see that TBC is here to stay and how well it's doing on the international stage, because the Philippines now use it as a legal tender. 110 kings and queens came together to sign a document that allows them to use TBC as their coin of preference. Now that's saying a lot, because of the trolls and the naysayers that came out of the woodwork. Where are they now? They're watching. They're seeing that TBC is no longer a joke. It's actually making people money. Now, I put my hand up to that, and this is what I want to show you. I just want to give you a quick glimpse of what TBC has done for me in the last few months. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Because TBC is real. I'm going to my Kringle Cash back office, and I wanted to show you yes, it's going to log out, so I'll just log back in. Sorry about that, but it happens. You can't hang around in the Kringle Cash back office too long without it logging out, especially if you're not using it. So I have done many a transactions, and it's allowed me to be alert to what TBC is all about. And, we don't take it lightly. And so in saying that, as being a broadcaster, a daily live broadcaster, the opportunities that TBC admin have brought to the table are as follows. We have the send button meeting, which occurs every week. And what happens is we get a private link right here, which will take us straight to the send button meeting. Now, this send button meeting is especially for the trusted sellers. Now, if you attend that meeting, a link will appear under here, and this is where you put in your word of the day. And straight away, that word is worth 1,000,000 cookies to you as a trusted seller. So in New Zealand, this occurs at 2 a.m. in the morning, and you can log into the link, which appears here about 1:45 every Tuesday morning. And then a link down here will appear, so you can put in the trusted word of the day. And once you've submitted it, your reward will show up in your cookies office, back office. So I want you to see what that looks like. So I've redeemed my cookies, but here are my cookie rewards. So I've attended. I've been rewarded 63 million for not only doing my broadcast, but attending the broadcast. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's go to the send button area. Here, you have broadcasters rewards. So what happens when you do a broadcast? Well, you add your URL link right here. And once you submit it, it will be added down here. Now I've got 2 broadcasts pending. As soon as they're approved, 1 million cookies will show up in your cookies area. So have you got a reason to do your daily broadcast? Of course you do. I'm just showing you what TBC admin have given to reward those that are doing. See, I've had one rejected up here. So I'm not fallible. I can get rejected as well. But the rest have been approved. I've got 2 pending, and when I finish this broadcast, I will add my URL to this list. So these cookies I can retrieve in November. Now I've already retrieved what Kringles I had, what cookies I had in my back office, and they're now showing in my new web wallet. But hey, I'm not fussed. These didn't go over at the time of time of my redemption, but at least I know they're there. And I'm not the only one. I believe all broadcasters, all their cookies never went over, but their balance of their cookies from coming to the send button meetings all went over. So, you know, that's just only that's but a second reward to all broadcasters as to why you should become a broadcaster. Thirdly, we are given the opportunity to get free leads, 50 free leads that you can contact who may have already paid their $10 and just waiting for somebody to contact them. So now TBC are giving out this list. Now, regardless of whether you're already, like for me, for instance, I'm already a trusted seller, but I popped up on somebody's leads list, and Kate Pie, you know, you just, yeah, you see the email, open it, and let the intended person know, so they can note down in their in this Kringle cash office. Now I'm going to really refine this list so you can see what actually happens. So what happens is that the email that was sent me, the person who sent it to me will add in here, in this little link here, already trusted seller or something like that. Just a short note to let TBC admin know that you've contacted them and they've replied. And then you will submit all of this. So you will add a note in every one of these contacts that you get and just submit it. So I know that you've contacted them. Maybe you, some of them never replied, but you will give that information just in this small space here and submit your form. And then what happens after you've done that is TBC admin will send you yet another 50 names. So have I got reason to be a broadcaster on a daily basis? Absolutely. So here you have the send button meeting to attend every week, and you get rewarded for it. You have broadcaster leads. You have the broadcaster rewards. So what's holding you back? Is there a reason that's holding you back? I'll just stop sharing that. And if there is something that's holding you back, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to walk you through the steps. Yes, there's a multiple amount of videos out there on how to open your YouTube channel, how to interact, and how to book your slot in the broadcasting area. But some people like to be taken by the hand and walk through it as a one-on-one. Now, with that approach, it is fast becoming a well-known fact, especially with one of our regular people here on TBC. Now, GW Publishing is very active online, and all he likes to give is instructions. He's not one to walk you by the hand, but he'll let you know how to do things. Now, we all value our time. And we like to think that if you require one-on-one, then please show your sponsor or whoever may be helping you through, or you may have a new sponsor, that by interacting, that if they give you value. Now, I'm going to introduce this word to you. Reciprocity. Reciprocity. And what does that mean? That means if you think that you have gotten value of somebody, then give back. It's just a shy, people won't ask you outright to pay for their services. It's between you and the person in question, but it's just a courtesy thing. But in saying that, please, I'm very happy to help anybody who's stuck, who's been neglected, because I will definitely help you out in that area. So I just wanted to go over this blog that I had picked out. And it's not too long, but it means a heck of a lot, because it sets out what TBC's mission is. Testimonial of why we need to end poverty. Now, I haven't actually watched this video. I'm just going to play a little bit to see if I can, I'm not sure if it's going to play because I had tried to play it before. Okay, here we go. Now, you don't always try to target one specific race because it's actually worldwide. But this is happening now in New Zealand, in the Philippines, in Uganda, in Russia, everywhere, every country in the world have got families on the street who beg, full families. Not only are they living in cars, they're living on the street. We're begging is their number one means of living. We take for granted that we can go to the local shop, to the local supermarket and buy food. Sometimes it's food we don't even know if we're going to use. Things like this. There you go. Children begging. So you can imagine how far a dollar will go for these families.
The reason that we are really having a mission, kaya kami nagkakaroon ng mission sa the Billion Coin Community ay para matapas ang mga kahirapan. Tingnan niyo mga bata nito.
And as we know, the Billion Coin is now doing good things in the Philippines.
Walang makain, walang maigamit. Kaya kami dito sa Billion Coin Community ay on its mission to end this poverty. Kaya,
yes.
Please help us in this mission na ma-eradicate.
Now this is the old video. I give it from 2016. But I haven't lost sight of what the mission is. And when you come across people and you know, they strive for a better life, doesn't it just break your heart? And so I'd just like to read you this little. When poverty gets bad enough, the poor go out to the streets to beg for help. This video shows how a young woman with all of her children are out on the open begging for help. I'll just stop that. Her son is in great need of medical attention. When wages are so low and jobs so hard to get for these people, they are left to beg in the streets. The same scenario can happen anywhere in the world when poverty gets out of control. And yes, it does happen everywhere in the world. As New Zealand is now coming into its winter period, it's just a brave thing that many people will go out and feed these people and give them warm clothing and supply them with blankets and try and find a roof over their heads for the night. Because as we all know, the bitter cold gets in everywhere. And if our homeless are not supplied with the right warmth, they die. We had a death in the front of one of our local churches last year. He was so old and he died in the doorway. Why is it that we haven't conquered poverty yet? Humanity has achieved so many wonderful things, and yet many of the most important things have not been completed. As long as the people are willing to put up with a rigged system, that creates artificial scarcity so that human farming continues, hunger and poverty will always be a part of that. The Billion Coin is a simple solution to ending poverty. The poor can take any amount of money they have to purchase TBC coins. TBC is the first abundance-based cryptocurrency, and at this time, even just 1 cent of it can appreciate so much that it could completely lift any family out of poverty. This doesn't happen overnight, but nothing ever does. Once enough people are lifted out of poverty through TBC, everyone will want to support this special currency. Paying $1 million for one TBC coin will be acceptable by the masses because of the mission of TBC. Those that are lifted by TBC will enjoy such great abundance that they will in turn create more jobs. And once the billion coin has fully matured, then there will be enough money flowing through the hands of masses to finally end poverty. So, that is something that we all have witnessed. I'll just go here. So, it's a sad state of affairs that people have to suffer so badly. But why? Why is it still happening? Why do the rich and wealthy and the elite not share their abundance more? Like it's no problem for them to go and buy a piece of art for millions of dollars and place it on a wall that probably nobody but them will see. And yet they don't bat an eyelid. For me, I can go out, have a coffee with a friend, and that'll set me back $10, depending on what I have to go with it. And yet these people can't even earn $1 to feed their children. Now, in that video, you could see that couple had their children, they were living on the street, and there was more than one, there's about 4 or 5 of them. How can that be allowed to happen? I know that the Philippines have now gotten their shit together, you might say, and they're doing a great job. So I hope that the majority of the Philippines get on board, or their people will allow them. Setting up with $10 is like a whole year's wage to some people in the Philippines. Some people don't even get to see what a $10 looks like. It's millions of pesos, I believe, in Filipino money. And so what is it going to take to set us on a path of leaving poverty in the far distance? That we can all move forward to give a lending hand to those who need a help up. We're all going to do TBC in our own different ways. And we're going to get the word out there in our own different ways. And broadcasting is but one way. For the many broadcasters out there, you're doing a brilliant job. And normally I'll get into as many broadcasts as I can. Just over the last few weeks, I've not been able to do that. But I always do go to the channels and like and share their videos. And thank you to Yokotai for being here. She also is another broadcaster, putting the word out there. And yes, we can do more. If you're just here to sit and wait to see what the broadcasters are going to do for you, well, then you'll be waiting a while. Because while we're moving along, being rewarded, for some of us, it's a sacrifice. For some of us, it's a joy to be doing our broadcast. For me, it's the interaction with the many broadcasters that do their daily stint online for half an hour. Some of them can do it for even longer, depending on how our slots pan out. So you have the ability to be a broadcaster. Now, I have mentioned many times, if you're very shy, I'm willing to help bring you onto a broadcast to give you a few seconds of what it feels like to just say your name, introduce yourself, because that's where it all begins. Introduce yourself, and if you want to give a little background on who you are, what you do, that's great also. And if you feel you want to do that, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Now, yes, TBC is very in-depth, very in-depth. But we have a TBC admin that bring to the table so much knowledge that the blog that we all call the TBC Bible is available to us all, to the 3.2 million people registered in the TBC community. The blog is our main go-to place. Now, you can go to the blog and read it, but do you understand it? With me, I read things a few times till I get it, or I may watch a video a few times. Because you've got to understand that in order for you to be a trusted seller and a leader in TBC, you've got to be able to lead people with you who can then go off and be a leader in their own right. I am but one person here in New Zealand, and we have a membership of 12,000 here in New Zealand, over probably about 4.5 million people, all up. That's our whole population and growing. I think we're heading for 6 million. Now that's a drop in the ocean, because we want 1 billion people in the TBC community. So just imagine if we had one whole country in the TBC community. Wow, that'll be a feat, wouldn't it? And well, it'll be unheard of that one whole country is a TBC member. And it's just a matter of time. I am now approaching many of my family who were naysayers, whom I believe will come around, because there's so much proof available. And with the videos that TBC give us, I'm putting those on my links. I'm putting them in my blogs that I make every second day on my social media sites, to let them see that joining TBC is going to be one of the biggest things in their lives as we become free of the paper money. A cashless society is on the horizon. And we're going to have that opportunity to spread that. I'll just be a minute. Just messaging my friend. She looks after herself as best as she possibly can, because she has issues, as there's many of us, there's a few of us now that have issues, but we all look after ourselves. And I hope my friend Tilkatai Williams is doing the same thing. I know she is. She has got an orange tree beside her that I raided the other day, and I'm going back to raid it today. But yeah, so TBC, as I've mentioned, is working for many, many people now. The abundance it's going to bring, it's going to far outweigh Bitcoin or any coin that's out there in the public arena right now. TBC is heading to make history, and we are going to be part of that history. Now, I have, hopefully, Vincent Brown and his brother Malcolm are back from their holiday, and we're going to be doing some big things together as a team. And many teams are working on their own structural ideas to not only get the TBC word out there, they're also working on how to bring in, although we're getting these soft leads, that's what they call, because they've already joined TBC. So in order to get the word out there, we are going to be working on how we can get the word out further, not just within the soft leads that we get from TBC, but to bring new people in. And I'm very excited about that, because the leads that we get from TBC, they work a charm, because all we have to do is email them. But to get the new leads in also, that's building our TBC economy. We're heading for 1 billion people. If we, I saw one of the posts on an earlier broadcast where one lady, although she's very sick in hospital, she's still bringing 2 to 3 people a week in. Now, it's not a magic pill, but it works. And we all have that opportunity. So please, if you're not in TBC as yet, and you think that I might be the one that'll be able to help you see what TBC is, how it can benefit you, and the abundance that it can bring you. Did you think your dreams are a distant dream? Well, let me tell you, your dream is closer than you think. And TBC will bring that dream to life with a little hard work and follow instructions, but most of all, keep up with the blog. Now, below this video are my links that you can get in touch with me through my Facebook, should you want to hook up. Or if you live here in New Zealand, give me a ring. I'll be more than happy to help you. So for now, this is Julz Pico, your trusted seller here in New Zealand, but I accept anybody in the international world and arena who think they would like to further their advancement in TBC or would like to join TBC. I'll be more than happy to welcome you into this thriving community. So for now, this is Julz Pico, your trusted seller within the TBC community. From Auckland, New Zealand, I bid you ka kite, and I will see you again tomorrow at the same time, and you have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon. Bye for now.